G'day YouTube. Warbles on a lot here. Rainwater cascade tanks full. Plug in the cascade inlet. 3 tanks full. Another few days of scattered showers, thunderstorms, some heavy falls. Predicted. Because something has gone awry, I think, with the solar powered bore pump. Therefore, since 2-3 days before the rain started, there's been no new water going into the bore tanks. Since that's on the point of overflowing, probably already is. It's self-regulated last time it rained. This is in a similar condition, and I can't put any more water in this until I make some more room. So I'll commence by taking these got to keep your eyes open or you miss little treats like this. Hello, yeah, show me your hand. Isn't that lovely? Hey, you waved at me. Thank you. Keep going. Okay, I'll take that. People think I'm joking when I say the wildlife speaks to me. Yeah, okay, you get on with your day, I'll get on with mine. Thank you for the tip. Never know what you're going to find when you're walking the pipeline. Seriously, that's pretty funny. I mean, I can't fake that. Having a wild lizard run across my path, then stop, stand up and wave at me. That's funny. I like that. No point having a God theory unless it works every day and in real time, and the God theory's got a really, really funny sense of humour, sardonic, sometimes vicious, sometimes savage. But yeah, I like that. That's funny. Yes, it has in fact risen considerably with the most recent 25 millimetres of rain, because now that the ground is wet, everything that falls runs off. What a relief. So, because there's plenty of room between water level and the spillway, and at the top of the hill I have spare water, even though there is indeed runoff coming down the gully and into the dam. From both gullies. because once the sponge is wet and gravity is applied, it runs for a while. And yesterday there was about 20 millimetres around here. See what I mean about the self-organising terraces formed by organic debris, seeds, grass seeds, broken leaves, twigs, sticks. So, that was a nice little diversion. Oh, golly gosh, it's a long time since the dam's had that much water in it. So anyway, maybe I can raise the level of that by 2 or 3 millimetres if I shift my spare water. At least, that's the plan. We connect a delivery pipe, turn that end on. Unsurprisingly, nothing comes out. We let the sun-warmed air in the poly pipe work off its overpressure. And hopefully I can now go up to the other end of the line and connect the siphon hose in one of my Buoywalls, and we will see what we will see. And if I can't get it to work, I'll just have to start the whole system running with the pump, because I do know that you can pump water down the line, then switch the pump off and water continues to siphon. I'm hoping to be able to start the whole thing off without having to burn any fossil juice. Just don't think about the idea that the poly pipe is made out of congealed crude oil, suitably chemically rearranged. Try not to think about the idea that perhaps it's possible to be ecologically, environmentally sustainable, or it's possible to have a high technology, high energy use, high resource use civilization. Just try not to think about that. Otherwise, everything you do sort of feels like a desecration of the biology, the biosphere, the ecology, which belongs to everything else on Earth. So yeah, we try not to think about where all the plastic and manufactured stuff comes from, don't we? Hey, young fella, me lad, coming up to say good day on the round trip. A lot of people wouldn't bloody believe it, but I thought you might. Yep. No point having a God theory if the friggin' thing doesn't work every day and in real time. Hey. So now we take that, which was kind of actually set up to run from that to the inlet of the pump from either one of the delivery lines. So if these Buoywalls have no water in them, and if the pipelines and the pump at the other end are still functional, then I can use the remote pump to feed the near pump to feed the fire hose and the sprinklers. Nothing like thinking ahead, eh? So it has Storch fittings on one end and cam locks on the other. So to protect the vulnerable plastic from the spikiness of the metal, Little bit more silvery tape and we secure and constrain and pad and protect the loose metal ends. Okay, let's see how we go. Part one. Yeah, that works better. Well, I can hear the water going. So, 12:43. Now let's go and see what's happening at the other end. Presumably the water will get there before I will. I can hear it. Full there. Yeah, full there too. And full there. Okay, this might be working. Coming up the other side of the hill. It's full there. Yeah, that's got water in it. I can hear the bubbles. And the ants say it is going to rain again. And the clouds aren't arguing. We're going to meet each other like this every time, are we? Hey? You're a funny little fella. Yes, you are. By Jove. I can hear it move. Look at that. Oh, you know what this means. After all that, is that making water run downhill is so simple that even a hillbilly can figure out how to do it, eh? But now, sadly, guess who has to walk back up the bloody hill and change tanks? Because he can't sit on Contemplation Rock forever. Because that rain might be even kind of imminent, I think I might leave all this set up and running, but I'll put its weather jacket on. Because I can operate the other end of it regardless of how long that has to stay there like that. And behold, it is still siphoning. And it's pretty slow, but it is a happening thing. Oh, what a relief. The fact that the water level is going down is evident on the ring around the bathtub, so to speak. Coffee time. News time even. I do declare. And hopefully the storms will sort of go around here for about an hour, 2 hours perhaps. It'll take a while. Okay, so we now have the rain starting up. And I'd say I've got maybe 750 litres out, perhaps 1,000. So I have another use for that blue hose. Cut that off and set that up here to transfer from the full rainwater #1 cascade tank into the part emptied #2 cascade tank. I can't actually connect that to the pump's outlet and suck water via petrol power out of that and transfer it down to the dam, because the necessary double-ended soft hose fitting is already at the dam. So that will have to wait until that transfers to that. And if it rains, well, pretty shortly I'm going to have some room in the #1 tank in which to store the rain. And if this overflows, well, at least it fails safe, because it flows down onto a plastic tarpaulin and then over the edge of the stone platform. So that's kind of safe. But I do want to take, I don't know, 200 or 300 litres out of it. When I get use of the hose, I will. The water level was up there, so it probably maybe 20 centimetres, yeah, maybe 1,500 litres came out of there. I don't know. Whatever it is, better out of here to make room for what's in there, because what's up there is kind of effectively on the way down. So, see how long it takes to change that looking levels. Okay, still spitting gently, still threatening to actually rain. Siphon still siphoning. Reasonable amount of water's gone through. Just before that starts to actually pelt down, might just pull that. I thought we might have got a frog. Right, so that's set up, ready to receive rain. And when I get the use of that blue suction hose, I will then transfer, I don't know, maybe 300 or 500 litres from the 6,000 litre Prism tank. I sort of think precipitation is on the way. So I might as well set up to catch it. 57 centimetres, and it was 77 centimetres at 80 litres to the centimetre. So room for 800 more litres in the top Buoywall, and this one's sitting on 63.5 centimetres. Well, by my allegations, I reckon I took 1200 litres out of the number 2 tank and put it in the dam, and I've taken 800 litres out of the number 1 tank and put it into the number 2 tank. I really sort of need to take a bit more out of number 2 before I transfer any more across from number 1, or get more water into number 1 from the rain, which pretty much didn't come, in order to get sufficient height to be able to siphon any more across, because those two water levels are actually pretty close to being equal. So now take a bit out of the Prism tank, which at 69 centimetres, at 93.8 litres per centimetre, which has been previously determined, 6,472 litres in there. So now with a measuring stick and a clock, I reckon we should be able to figure out what the flow rate is from the top of the hill, siphoning down through the Aquarius pipeline. It is flowing. And we're talking, probably started happening at 4 minutes to 4. And we shall see what we shall learn. And I wonder how many tadpoles may be transferred to the dam. Considering that the roof of this hut makes 38 litres of runoff per millimetre onto it, pretty much put enough room in the top Buoywall to cope with 18 to 20 millimetres of rain on the roof. Okay, so that's 5 minutes, 0.9 of a centimetre. Yeah, alright. It's 84.4 litres in 5 minutes, which is 16.88 litres per minute, which is not horribly, terribly fast, but it beats running downhill with a bucket. And it does not burn any fossil juice. Not today, anyway. As I said, we try not to think about all of the crude oil that was used in making the hoses and the pipes and the tanks. But for today, we can get water to go downhill. Bugger! I actually read it wrong. We're talking closer to 10 minutes to the centimetre. Ooh, oopsie. So not even 10 litres a minute, about 9.38 litres a minute. It's still easier and faster than carrying it downhill in a bucket. And of course the limiting factor is that there are 3 Storts fittings, and each one of them has a 19mm lumen. There's that one there. There's another one at the other end of this delivery line going onto the pump. There's a 90-degree turn on the pump, and there's another Storts fitting. Whoop! There's 2 more Storts fittings in the soft delivery line from the pump to the dam. So 4 bottlenecks and 480 metres of polypipe between the siphon top end and the siphon bottom end. But the water is running downhill for free, reliably, putting rainwater from the hut into the dam. And today, a ton of it's gone through the pipeline. At least it will have when I get around to switching that thing off. Not much of an achievement for the day, but could have been worse. So, what the heck? It's ginger beer o'clock. As I sit and lazily watch the water obediently flowing downhill. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. And through laziness of the old man effect, I'm probably going to leave the bottom end of the pipeline set up as it is, so that if it rains this afternoon or tonight, tomorrow morning, I can siphon more water down the hill without having to pipe walk again. Arr. Ciao.